Hello again. Today I want to talk about writing distinct characters, because that's something I've been thinking about recently. I was thinking about it while watching a movie with my sister. By the way, you probably noticed the cute little Power Rangers doodle line art on the thumbnail. And you might be thinking, oh, I thought she was going to be drawing that, but since the last time I did a video, I was working on this page and there was barely any progress. I thought, it would seem to me to be kind of unsatisfying if you didn't see any more progress on that piece than that. So anyways, here's some more progress. Yay. Anyways, back to the topic. That panel is crooked. Never mind. Back to the topic. So I think writing distinct characters, when I say distinct, I don't necessarily mean like that they look distinct, although that's very helpful and very good. What I'm referring to is like how memorable the character is, like how much the character sticks with you. And that can be like having a really simple character or just a character with a really strong personality, or I don't know, I'm not saying that's all it is, but it could be, it's a little bit hard to pinpoint exactly what makes a distinct character, but let me use some examples, because it's easier for me to explain things when I use examples. So, the Ninja Turtles, Donnie, Mikey, Raph, Leo, I think that all four of them are very distinct characters. They each have a really striking personality. And I know people who do not know the Ninja Turtles' names, but they remember each of the Ninja Turtles clearly. They're like, oh yeah, there's the funny one, there's the leader, there's like the angry one or the cool one, like whatever they want to call Raphael. He's my favorite. And there's, the intellectual one, like the one who does gadgets, machines, right? Those are all really distinct traits, and because of that, you remember the characters. Like, even if you don't like the Ninja Turtles, you're not gonna forget them, at least not as much as if they weren't distinct. Alright, but the example I was gonna talk about, hence the thumbnail, or one of the examples, because I'll talk about a few more, or one more, at least, is, so I recently saw the 2017 Power Rangers movie with my sister. I almost said her name. That's weird. With my sister. And I was struck by how distinct this is gonna sound weird, but I was struck by how distinct the male characters were compared to the female characters. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I'm not like, oh, I don't like female characters, or that it's not even that I disliked the female characters on the movie. It's just, I honestly can't even remember their names, like the pink one and the yellow one. Like, it was like Crazy Girl and Princess Jasmine, basically. Like, that's all I can say, because I don't remember their names. But I do remember all the boys' names. There's Jason, Billy, and Zach. And I was just struck by how distinct and how much I remembered the boys compared to the girls. Like, and it's not that the girls were bad characters, it's just that they weren't, they needed more time to be properly developed, and the movie didn't have that time. Like, I think the pink girl was very, like, she was seeking redemption, which is, that's a good building block for a character. But the movie only touches on that lightly. And the yellow girl is very introverted and like the new girl emo type thing. kind of like a female version of this character here, haha. But yeah, that's it. Like, there wasn't that much more to her. Like, it's a little bit implied that she could be, like, if she's not careful, she could, the same thing that happened to the former Green Ranger could happen to her, but it's not, again, only lightly touched on. But the thing is, with the boys, even though a lot of their stuff is only lightly touched on, they're so much more memorable. Jason is the leader. He's the inspiring one. He's so inspiring. And Billy, like, if you don't love Billy, like, what's wrong with you? I'm kidding, but Billy is, like, a really lovable character. He's a peacemaker. He's really innocent and wholesome. He has, like, he's, like, really quirky. And funny, too. And then we've got Zach, the Black Ranger. The other two I talked about were the red and blue ones. Zach is my personal favorite because, well, I really like the actor who plays him, but also because he's, it's almost as if his character is even less developed than Billy and Jason, and yet he's still so distinct. He's the you only live once type of character. He's carefree. He's fearless. He's like, and he's so open. Like when they're all around that fire, and he realizes what it means to connect with the others, and when he realizes what they need to do to morph, he's just like, he just like opens up in front of them, like doesn't miss a beat, doesn't hesitate at all, tells them who he is, where he comes from, and his struggles, like his fear about losing his mother. He isn't afraid to get emotional in front of people he barely knows. He's just, he's like, why not? Let's do it. And that was, like, those kind of characters are some of my absolute favorite character types out there, because, like, that's, I don't know, there's just something about that is so inspiring to me. Like, I can think of a character like that and do something that's really hard for me, or, like, move forward when I feel like I can't move forward, when I've been feeling like I can't move forward, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the male Power Rangers, again, I liked the Power Rangers movie, but I'm not familiar with the franchise at all, really, so I don't know if it's good to, like, Power Rangers fans. But, yeah, I was just really struck by that, and it's unfortunate because I didn't dislike the female characters on Power Rangers. In fact, I just thought it was a shame that they didn't have the time to develop them better so that I really felt like I knew them. Another good example, like, and I think, by the way, I forgot to mention this before, but I think having distinct characters is a lot more important when you're making a movie, or like something shorter, rather than a TV show. In a TV show, it's a bit different because you have a lot more time to develop a character, so they can be really mysterious for a while and kind of ambiguous, and then like super, in like a super slow burn way develop. Yeah, there's a lot more freedom there to be vague or ambiguous. I'm saying the same words over and over again, but anyways, in a movie, this is particularly important because what you see is what you're gonna get out of the movie. Like, unless you know it's gonna be a long movie series, and hey, maybe they will make some more Power Rangers movies, like continuing that one. Who knows? I know there was like a sequel bait clip at the end, but yeah, spoilers. Never mind. But another good example, I think, is another great way to make sure your character is memorable, I think, is a point that Filmento made. He's a film reviewer on YouTube. who I can recommend, or I enjoy his stuff personally. But he talks about reversals when analyzing the Into the Spider-Verse movie. And he talked about the female Doc Ock character, who was like one of my favorite parts of that movie. And how she starts out as this like scientist, like this nobody. You don't really know anything about her. And then like she's just like really quirky and like harmless. But then she says something really off and you're like, wait a minute, what? And then boom, she strips off the lab coat and she is Dr. Flippin' Octopus. Oh my gosh. Ah! And like, yeah, the reason, and the funny thing is, that character actually has no development in the film. There's too many characters in the film for a lot of them to get properly developed, especially like some of the villains. And yet, Doc Ock is so memorable. Why? Well, that's because of how striking the reversal was. At least that's what Filmento says, and I agree with him. Another thing I think is kind of memorable about her is just her, what do you call it? Her attitude? Her personality, I think, is really funny. Like, she's like a psychotic killer, and yet at the same time she reminds me of like the neighbor lady. Like, you know, she's not like trying to be scary. She doesn't need to. She just acts normal, and that's like even more scary. She's not like, I'm gonna kill you. She's like, could you get back here, young man? And she rings the doorbell before smashing down the door. Like, I'm sorry. That's hilarious. I love that. Anyways, yeah. Those are some of my thoughts about writing distinct characters. I think it's just really important in general, but yeah, like I said, I think it's especially important for a movie. Now, the big question here. Are my characters distinct? I'm asking myself this question. And I'm not. I think they are. I like to think they are, right? Like, I have, in this comic, you know, that I'm working on here, right here, Sunstrike and Bloomist, we have 2 of the main characters on this page, but not all 3 of them. I would say there's like a holy trinity of main characters. We've got the cool one. He's kind of the main character currently. He won't always be the main character, but he is in this arc. And then we've got the really the shonen protagonist, almost like the really kind-hearted and yet super spunky and fun-loving, really emotional one. And then we've got the guy I'm drawing here, the emo, the guy with issues, like pretty major issues, and yet there's also a sweetness about him, and innocence, as much as he probably would think that doesn't exist. I think everyone else could see that, because he's still a child, and there's an innocence about being a child. Sorry, if he doesn't look like a child, that's my bad, but he's 14. Yeah, but I want to talk about, like, my characters, like, in a later video. I was just really briefly, thinking about, are they distinct or not? And they could probably be more distinct, really. But again, in my defense, there's a lot of episodes in my head and a lot of time to develop them. It's not just a movie like Power Rangers was. And again, I don't know if that's going to be a series, but anyways, I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are. And again, yeah, sorry there wasn't like a ton more progress, but at least you saw some of the progress on like that I did in between this video. And I don't know exactly when I'm gonna be uploading, like, on a schedule. Like, I don't know what my schedule's gonna be like. I just got a job, actually, or like a new job, like like a part-time job, like not like working from home. Like I know I work as like an illustrator, but that's like not like full-time. So yay, like hallelujah, I finally got another part-time job. But I need to see what my hours look like and stuff before I like know for sure what's gonna happen with this YouTube channel. And like, don't worry, like Sunstrike and Bloomis comics are definitely gonna be uploading because I have a buffer. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And my next video, that's a good question. I didn't like have my next video as planned out as I thought, but don't worry, I'll think of something. I have so many topics I want to talk about. But thank you so much for listening. And yeah, if you have any thoughts and you want to share them, please feel free to do so. I never stop talking. I love talking and discussing things like this with people. So yeah, don't hesitate. Okay. Well, that about does it. I will talk to you later. Bye.